Let's start. Drink of the wine of the world, we forget the shadow beneath thy hand. May we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land.
And we have been doing this work for many, many years. When I was in high school, I had the opportunity to be crowned the first Miss Black Long Beach. And there never was another pageant. So, I am still queen. But on the really, really serious side, I didn't know what it meant, because at that time, the only queens we had was the welfare queen and Aretha, and she got it straight with the respect part. But I wasn't seeing who were the queens that represented who I was, and I knew it wasn't Liz, Vicky, and Mary, and so I decided I needed to research this, because year after year, when there wasn't another queen, it was like people would come up to me and say, "You're still a queen," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, if you want me to do that." So that's what I did. I researched it. I was an aspiring designer, but I loved history. But more than history, I loved her story. And that's what you're going to see today. It's classic Queens of the Now. Now, when we first came out, it was always presented with these 8 queens, and my husband, Adisa, from Daughters of the Dust, was the narrator. He's with us this evening.
Come, Africa. Come, Africa. Come, Africa. Come, Africa. Come, Africa. Come, Africa. Come. Brothers and sisters, kings and queens, we give you wings of the night. Now, give them a hand! Africa gave birth to kings and queens whose nobility and royalty left the world a legacy. Africa gave birth to queens like Queen Hatshepsut. Give her a hand! 1,500 years before the birth of Christ was the beginning of this flower of Egypt's fascinating life. Born into an African tradition known throughout the Old Kingdom as the matrilineal system, where women have respect and equal rights. Queen Hatshepsut, give her a hand. Oh, come on, give her a hand. Africa gave birth to queens like Queen Tea of our great royal family and co-ruler of the 18th dynasty, wedding to Amenhotep, the fourth, both of Nubian ancestry. Their union bore 3 sons, Senenkare, Amenhotep the fourth, who later changed a hand. Africa gave birth to great like Nefertiti, an Egyptian beauty who together with her husband Akhenaten built the city of dreams that became to be a reality. Preaching a doctrine of love and peace, together they were the first rulers in history to demand Queen Nefertiti, Queen of the Nile. Now, give her a hand. Africa gave birth to queens like Kandaka, the warrior queen. 44 predecessors ruled 80 clans who stood ready to punish those who had threatened her holy lands. Leading her armies in personal command, she refused to give in to any demand. Legend has it, as foreigners prepared to cross her borders, this empress of Ethiopia gave her orders. Queen Kandaka, the warrior queen, give her a hand. Africa gave birth to queens like Cleopatra. Born 6'9" BC, this African queen came to the throne when she was only 17. Exiled from the Nile for a while, she returned with a plan to bring Egypt to a stand as she fascinated and held two successive Roman rulers in the palms of her hand. Queen Cleopatra, the seventh Queen of the Nile. Give her a hand. And last but not least, Africa gave birth to Queen Mother Santoa, Queen Mother of Egypt. Throughout the history of modern Ghana, her story has remained an inspirational saga. For several centuries, battles had prevailed to take over the Gold Coast, but all had failed. Then, in 1896, the British made still another attempt, and this time exiled King Prempeh and demanded the majestic golden stool, the supreme symbol of power by which the Ashanti ruled. Outraged, the Ashanti prepared for war. This kind of treatment they would abhor. Noticing a few of the chiefs' reluctance to fight, Queen Mother Santoa claimed her country's birthright.
Now I see that some of you feel to go forward to fight for our king. But if it were in the brave days of old, the days of Oseti too, Opokuware, Okonkwo Nochi, chiefs would not sit down and see their king taken away. Is the bravery of Ashanti no more? I cannot believe it. If you, the men of Ashanti, will not come forward and fight for our king, then we will. We, the women. And we will fight until the last of us falls on the battlefield.
Queen Mother Santoa, Queen Mother of Egypt. Yeah, give her a hand. Come on, give her a hand. Africa gave birth to kings and queens whose nobility and royalty left the world a legacy. Africa gave birth to you.
Now, I'm going to play the kora. The kora is the ancient harp of our ancestors. It's a gourd, cowskin, wood. It's nothing complicated. But I'm going to play the kora, and I'm going to play the song. Now, most of you know the kora. How many of you were around in the 70s? Come on, raise them high. Because if you made it this far, you need to be proud, all right? In the 70s, about 75, 76, we had four television channels. And the kids go, ooh, dang. We had about 4 channels, and there was something that came on TV that everybody in the nation watched. It was called Roots. Y'all remember that? Yes. Batil Batil? Oh, no. Y'all gotta get back what you received. I was excited. Y'all didn't feel excited. Batil Batil? Now, when Roots came on, it was Alex Haley. I'm not going to go through all that, but Alex Haley went back to the Gambia to trace his roots and Kunta Kinte. Y'all know all that story, right? But the man, but the man who met Alex Haley to recount the history of his family recounted it while singing and playing a kora. The kora is the oral historian's instrument. It is the instrument of the jelly. They say in the base of the kora is the history of the people. So y'all ready? Batil Batil. If y'all think I'm gonna stand for that, Batil Batil. Let me explain something. Music starts outside of us, enters, and has an effect on us eternally, right? Okay, so music typically makes you want to move, all right? Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I was playing Tupac, y'all be moving parts of your body you ain't moved in years, wouldn't you? So let's feel the music of our ancestors the same way. Give me back what I give you. Let's feel it. There was once this frog. His name was Alvin. Alvin the frog is what they called him. Now, Alvin, he was an unusual frog, you see. He was born with, what the scientists and the doctors and the physician called a jacked up ribbit. He couldn't ribbit very well. No, and the thing that made this odd, you see, was because Alvin the frog wanted to be, of all things, a singer. But you gotta be able to ribbit if you want to sing, right? But you see, Alvin had a loving mother. And I'm going to tell you something. If you have a loving mother, you can accomplish anything in this world. Yeah, that is the power of a loving mother. And his mother would tell him, she would say, Alvin, she would say, baby, your ribbit, no, it's not so good. But you know, Alvin, if you work hard, baby, you can accomplish anything in this life. Batil Batil. So Alvin went to work every day. He worked on that ribbit. It would come out kind of strange, like hop. But he would keep trying, and that was the important thing, that he kept on trying. That's the important thing, we keep on trying. Batil Batil. Until one day he finally got a ribbit out. Finally got one out. Didn't sound so good, but it was still a ribbit. Batil Batil. And he kept practicing. And he kept practicing. And he wasn't so good, but you know how it is. People are watching you. They see what you want to do. They see what you love. And you know what a lot of people do? They hate on you. Batil Batil. Yes, the lizards hated on Alvin. Yes, the monkeys hated on Alvin. Everybody made fun of Alvin. He became the butt of everyone's jokes until one day, Batil Batil, Sly old fox. Sly old fox decided he was going to make some money off of Alvin. Since Alvin was the biggest joke around, a frog with a jacked up ribbon wanting to sing, he knew he could make money if he gathered all of the animals together. If he got all the animals together, had them pay an entry fee, he could put Alvin on stage and have him try to sing and everyone would have a good laugh. Bati. Oh, you see, Fox, he was sly like that. He owned a little club. It was called the Sweet Fox. Oh, if y'all know about that, y'all got some stories to tell So here's what happened. Fox put out all kind of flyers. He was going to have Alvin the Frog come sing. Everyone knew it was a joke, but Alvin. Poor Alvin. And when the day came, Alvin was so excited. He didn't sleep. He didn't sleep at all because this was his chance to show the world what he could do. Bati. So, here's what happened. Fox had an opening act. Yeah, they were called the Thunderbirds. If y'all go back to the doo-wop era, some of y'all know about the Thunderbirds, right? They opened for Alvin and they did an amazing job. Yes, and then it came time, and it came time for Alvin to come out. So Fox is grinning and smiling, and Fox says, "Oh, I got this frog. Yes, sir, this frog who wants to be a singer, and I'm going to bring him out so y'all can hear him." Bati. His name is Alvin, and let me bring him out. So Alvin came out on the stage, and when he came out on the stage, everybody started laughing. He didn't even get to get a note out. He didn't even get to try to sing. Everyone started laughing. So Alvin did what most of us do when we're confronted with adversity. Most of us run. So that's what Alvin did. He ran. He ran, and he ran into the woods, crying. But you know what? He had a mama who loved him. So her voice, I'm going to tell y'all something, you can never escape your mama's voice. Her voice came back. Her voice came back to him. And her voice in his head said, "Alvin, you got to try." So while all the animals were still laughing, Alvin turned around. He walked back up to the stage. He grabbed the microphone. And all those animals, they were still laughing. But Alvin looked at all of them. He poked his chest out and he said, this is what he said to him. He said, "I won't let nothing stand in my way." Somebody bring me a jacket. All the animals went quiet. They could not believe that came out of the throat of that frog. Alvin was feeling himself when they got quiet. He said, "I know you know someone that has a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go." Wait a minute, wait. Children. To let the children know that this is true, let me tell you something. Some of these adults were there that day. They were. And I'm going to prove it to you. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going. They don't know. Alvin the dancing, and everyone was feeling good for him. And Alvin knew that day, that what he wanted in his heart, he could have. In fact, Alvin the Frog went on to become a world famous singer. Yes, he did. Alvin the Frog became so famous, that they stopped calling him Alvin. They started calling him Al, and the Green family could not have been Take it low. Really low. Now whisper.
So now we're going to get to the part where we're going to light the candles for Kwanzaa. As you see, there are 7 candles. We're going to only light 3 because we're on the 3rd day, right? Okay.
Okay, and Kwanzaa has been celebrated for 48 years. And there are traditions, there are African rituals, and then we celebrate these traditions, these rituals such as Kwanzaa, because it's an ingathering of people. It's an opportunity where the African community, the Black community, the African American community can come together, we can socialize, we can talk, we can plan for the future. So this is at the end of the year, after Christmas. So the first day is for unity.
Umoja, say Umoja. Unity.
Okay. And that's the black candle that we light. And let me go and light the black candle.
Go ahead, light the candle, brother. And actually that black candle is going to be used when you light the other candles. Because we're going to start unifying. Yep, it is. Wonderful. The first one. Now the second candle, the second day of Kwanzaa is Kuji Chagalia. Say, Kuji Chagalia. That means self-determination. We have to determine for ourselves what our destiny is. Just like some of these queens that you just saw, they determined for themselves that we are going to keep our people strong. We're going to rule our land. Whatever you decide you want to be, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be an astronaut, determine that. And make the plans and the discipline to do that, to make that happen. And as a community, we're supposed to support one another. Okay? So the second candle is Kuji Chagalia. We'll light the red candle.
And then as Adrian said, usually you take the candle, the black candle, and you lean it toward. These are big candles, and they look just gorgeous, so I'm not going to do that.
And also, one thing too that knows for Kuji Chagalia is to define ourselves and name ourselves. That's why, like during the 60s, people start changing their names to African names. Do you remember that? And then some people continue to do that. So to name ourselves the way we want to name ourselves, because our names have meaning. Actually has meaning. Okay, and the third one, which is today, is Ujima. Say Ujima. Ujima. That's collective work and responsibility. And it says to actively build, maintain, and support our community, to make our brothers and our sisters' problems our problems, and to work to solve them together.
25th anniversary. You've got a lot of history behind here. How do you feel today?
I feel really good. I think that the people enjoyed it. I think we imparted a lot of information to them. For a lot of people, it was their first Kwanzaa celebration. So lots of kids, and it was just really good, especially with the storyteller. We really enjoyed it a lot.
Well, culture is important. Culture is the solutions to all of our problems, even to Ferguson. It is the solution. Know who you are, know what you're about, know your history, your past, and keep it up. It controls our behavior. That's why we do this. That's why the Kwanzaa celebration is a cultural event. It's important to celebrate self. It's important to connect with your humanity and stay connected with your humanity. That's why we do it. And we've had a lot of success over the years helping especially African people find themselves. The indigenous or the African, there's a connection. And this connection needs to be lived. It needs to be renewed all the time. And as I said before, that's the reason we behave. That's the reason that we have goals, we have achievements. People who know who they are do well in any culture. And again, that's why we do what we do. African Cultural Research and Study Group is on 19th and Atlantic, and we have a program that's more than 25 years old. It's excellent, it's truthful, and you can't really do about it.